Yeah, good evening YouTube. So I have one of these Xiaomi 10,000 milliamp hour power banks, and this one, it takes a charge, but as you can see it don't get any power out of the USB connector. And if you can look inside there, I think there seems to be a problem. The two outside pins seem to have been pushed in or bent backwards or something. Okay, I got the screws out. One thing I wanted to check here before I go any farther, it looks like, yeah, so they run it right up to, there's 4.18 volts, and all three cells are in parallel. This is the negative side comes up to here, and then the positive, all three across the positive go to that point. So, and they have a little temperature sensor there. Okay, so the trick is there's a couple little slots on the side. You have to get your screwdriver in there and gently pop both sides out, and then you can kind of pull the plastic off. The power button stays there, and that is what happened. You can see the two middle pins right in there are in where they're supposed to be, and the two power pins are sticking out in back there. You can probably see that in a side view. That does not look like a proper USB connector, so somehow those pins got pushed back. Okay, I was able to get my little plastic spudger, whatever you want to call that tool there. So here we go. I got my little power meter. Yeah, it's still not getting a connection there. Okay, I think I got it, YouTube. Had to get in here. Found I had this ceramic screwdriver, which was really handy for poking around here, because I assume these pins are live, at least if you accidentally touch ground and the 5-volt pin. So that was pretty handy getting those things pushed in. They kind of click in place in back here. So I got those pushed all the way in to where they kind of clicked. And then the other thing I did, if you can see, there's like a little indent there. So I used a little X-Acto knife and kind of whittled away at the plastic divider there in the USB connector. Just whittled away so I could get in under the tip of the power and the ground pin. And then I could bend them up, because what had happened was the pins in there were kind of curled down, and so I bent them up so they kind of stick up like the two data pins in the middle. And look at that. If we slide in there, now it works. Yeah, I didn't have to do any soldering. Thinking I might have to replace that connector. Okay, YouTube. Here is exactly what I need. This was a little piece of a supposedly failed 3D printing project. It was just the wrong size, and I guess there's no such thing as a failed 3D print, because that's just like the perfect size. All I had to do was cut it off of the bigger piece, and then I just did a little bit of a clearance groove in the bottom, because there's a chip right in the middle there. So I think I'm going to put a little dab of glue on the back side here to hold this against the top of the cell, and then that's going to hold in there and keep those pins from getting pushed backwards and out the back of the case there. Oh, there's a gap, so I'm going to have to cut this plastic down just a little bit. Here's where the USB connector ends, and then here's this little gap, and that's where the pin's pushed out. So I think what I need to do is just sand this piece of plastic down to fit right in there. That's what I need to do. Okay, I think we did it. Just had to grind that piece of plastic down until it fits in that little recess back there. And let's see if I can get it down in there. Put a little dab of glue on the back, and now that'll stay in there. Okay, yeah, I got it to fit. The trick is you need to put the circuit board in at an angle, get the the connectors shoved through the cutouts there, and then you can push the back down, get it to clip in. I think it's clipped in on both sides. Yeah, ends up pretty much flush, so I think my piece of plastic is jammed in there good and solid now. Yeah, that's a really tight, compact design. They completely filled the case, so it's got the three 18650 cells in parallel, so they must be 3300 milliamp hour cells. Maybe 3000, I imagine, is what they're probably rated out. Yeah, you got that, and then I don't know if there's enough stickum left on this. We'll see. So let us do the acid test here. Hey, it works. Excellent. Yeah, other than that, that's the only thing I've run into on this power bank. Okay, it does say here it does DC 5 volts at 2 amps and then 5.1 volts at 2.1 amps. So it apparently does a little bit of fast charging. One thing we could take a look at is this. This is what I had been using it for before the connector quit. This is a Raspberry Pi with the touchscreen. Booting up Debian Linux. And there you go. You got the cursor. This is the Raspberry Pi 7-inch touchscreen. Raspberry Pi 2 Model B on the back side. I haven't really used this all that much because you can see the back side is kind of delicate. You got wires and these ribbon cables are really touchy. I wanted to make a little more usable case for this, so what I'm going to put together in an upcoming video is what's called a Pi Pad, which is a Raspberry Pi in a tablet form with an internal battery, so you don't need your USB power bank to run it. I will show you what that looks like in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. But for now, we've got our Xiaomi 10,000 milliamp hour power bank working. So yeah, if you've got one of these power banks and you find all of a sudden it doesn't make contact, look inside the pins there and you might find that the power and or ground pins have kind of got pushed back inside. So I put that little piece of plastic in there. I think that's going to work. Yeah, hopefully you found that video interesting. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for updates, like when I work on this Pi Pad. And as always, thanks for watching.